boyfriend cheated, just whack him.
Yeah, exactly. So socially acceptable.
I'm gonna give it to my kid.
Socially acceptable is I should feel very close and have a connection with my mom. But you're saying, oh my God, this person has hurt me. This person feels separate from me. This person has taken me away from people that I love. Whatever that is, there's a lot to explore here. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. But accepting that it's okay that you don't have a connection with your mom, and that you don't have to give her all of your pearls, and that you can have an intimate, close relationship with somebody, even if they don't know absolutely everything. I wish I would have known that lesson. And I still have trouble with it. And I share my experience because it just happened yesterday with my mom, and I said to her, please go, I want to be with my daughter by myself. I wanted to make my house mine. That's okay. That does not make you a bad daughter. It just means that you didn't have your love needs met. We can't make that happen for you, but we can help remove veils of what you think you should be. I shouldn't love my dad as much as I do. I should love my mom more. Shoulds are all judgments. No, there's a reason, malo que bueno, that your dad is the one that you have on the pedestal. That will shatter one day too. But there's a reason for it.
And relationships change, as you can see by example. You know, relationship with her daughter changed. Your relationship can change too with your mother.
As you accept yourself and do the work.
But it's for yourself.
And that's a miracle.
We talked a lot.
That's a miracle.
Early in the year, we talked a lot about her and her dad.
So if me changing
If she even mentioned her father, it was like,
No.
and look, she brought him up herself.
That's right.
Because it's not about the other person. It's about the work you're doing with yourself. You're having difficulty connecting with the feminine part, the maternal part of yourself, the mom part. That's why I said, what don't you like about it? That question tells me immediately. Okay, in the model, what don't you like about the person, place, thing, or situation? Step 2, the minute you ask the client, what don't you like about it, you already know what the gap is. And you said the hiding, the lying, to my face. So your judgment is, I shouldn't hide from her because she's my mother. Oh, hell to the no. There are mothers from 1 to 10, honey. There are mothers that abuse, there are mothers that beat. Just because the person had the privilege of popping you out doesn't mean shit.
And they use that as an excuse. A lot of women use that.
And society expects a certain appearance, which is what you're holding yourself to. So it segues perfect into, it's not about you, it's about your child. Your client, every single one of your clients, every single one of you, myself, Mr. Pachi, come from unmet needs. I need you guys to spit these needs out. Like, I need you to have this, like, registered in your head. You should know safety, security, the person's in fight or flight, they weren't safe, they probably slept with their eyes open, they could have been abused, there could have been violence, there could have been a military base, a gamut of things. It's the archetype of Mars. That's why when we know the archetypes, right here, and in your chart, wherever you have Mars, is your archetype. What?
I said, I'm gonna go to my house today, you wanna come over?
Okay, perfect. And then you can say, I have friends. Because part of that is, I don't have friends because I can't have friends. If my mother isn't my friend, how dare I have female friends? Lie. But,
She judges them.
of course.
Well, I don't care about her judgments, it's a word.
So
Here,
we've got the
this-
creator.
Can I just say one thing? The one main idea that I've learned throughout my psychology education is that you cannot expect to change someone. You can only change your reaction to them.
And ultimately, that reaction to them is the reaction you have about yourself,
Exactly.
deep-seated. Your truth, subconsciously, is really that about you. I can't have a relationship with my mother if I keep secrets from her. But if I keep secrets from her, then I have a chance of having a healthy relationship. But if I tell her everything, I'm not gonna have a stroller, I'm not gonna have a girlfriend, and I'm sure as hell not gonna have a lover. That's a hard one to reconcile. Which one is it? So as soon as you become comfortable, as Mr. Fauci's saying, with that decision, then you don't react any longer to your mother the way you used to. Because you've accepted acceptance. It's super important. We have to become aware, which is what we're doing in the class, and then we have to accept that this is our reality. I call this cracking snow globes. It's hard, people. It is hard to look at the bullshit that you went through. I told you earlier today, I thought I had the perfect childhood. I laugh at how delusional I was. I laugh, and it took a lot of years of pain. It took my first round with cancer. It took 15 years practically not having my kids really a connection with them. But when I cracked that snow globe, which is what you're doing, and realizing, esta es la madre que te tocó. Oh well, you got positives in other things, you got a mediocre, what do you?
And I think that's the reward. All that hard work, that's your reward. When you accept yourself and you like yourself. I remember my sister telling me once that she thought she was little digs that she used to give me. She thought she was insulting me when one day she said, "Oh, your daughter's just like you. She's your mini me." And I said, "That's great.
Best compliment ever.
That's great because I like myself. So if she's gonna be like me, great." And she thought she was insulting me with that line. But, you know, those moments are sticking in my head because those are the moments where you say, you do like yourself, and that's great. I think that's the ultimate goal of us on earth, is to be at a place where you are comfortable with who you are. And it takes a long time, and some people get to be 80 years old before they accept that.
That's one issue that my mom has big time. She always, whenever I do something not good, it's not necessarily bad, she says, "You're just like me, you're acting like me, you're copying me."
I say that to my daughter a lot.
And I go like, "No, I'm not. I just happen to kind of be like your daughter. You know, I came out of you, so I gotta have something from you."
But the reason that you're reacting is because you haven't accepted that you are her child. And earlier, you talked about being a perfect mother. There is no
such
perfect
thing.
mother. It is inherent, and I'm not gonna violate your beliefs here.
I
But
know. I'm
Go
gonna
back
turn out
to the
just like my
model.
mom.
we come from Saturn and Uranus,
I
from
already see
rules and from chaos. Remember, we come here, the united, the collective consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it, D. All of a sudden, we say, God, fuck you, I want to experience my own life, incarnate. Your job as a mother is simply to have a vehicle to pop out the kid, to hold them for 9 months, to put them through the birth canal, and now they have been given a body. Bert Hellinger, from a theory called family constellations, says, your parents gave you life, and that is enough. Because the moment that you are given a body, you are already flawed. So is perfect parenting a possibility? Hell no! Because if perfect parents existed, the child would be an aura. There would be no organs. It would be an aura. Do you want to cuddle an aura? No. Does an aura need breast milk? No. Does an aura need to sit in un cochecito? No. We want the flesh and blood. We want to cuddle and put the lacitos and dress them up for Christmas. The minute you gift the child, which is the only sort of purpose of the parent, more so the mother than the dad, but both, because you need the egg and the sperm, the child is flawed. What the parents participate in is helping, or not, the child decide one of two things. Are you going to live pain as pleasure or pleasure as pain? That's it. And you are trying to not be pleasure as pain, but you are, just like your mom. It's okay. She popped you out of her vagina. She raised you. Where else were you going to learn it?
So
And
now-
I have pain is pleasure. I got it just from my mother. Victim number one.
How do I, because the part of acceptance and all that and changing how she mentioned it's, you don't change people, you change your reaction to them.
You only change your reaction once you've changed, you've become aware, and you've accepted. It's not suppressing. Oh, this person's telling me I'm fat, and this person's telling me I'm this, and this person's telling me I'm that, and I'm going to be like, oh, so thank you so
In your
much.
head,
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
That is not what she's talking about.
Yeah.
That's not true change. When there's true change, ya no te molesta.
Yeah.
They can't push the button. You see that electric socket? They have nowhere to stick it in. It has tabitas on it because you've already worked it. But if someone can stick their plug into your socket, you have not accepted yourself in that part yet. That's what we're listening for as therapists.
And guess what happens after they've trying and trying and trying, and they see no reaction? There's no fun in that. They'll end up stopping,
Stopping, leaving your life,
trying a different
whatever the
approach.
universe, God,
whatever it
whatever
is.
wants them to go, they die, they go off
That
and
it
have a
won't.
woman.
It won't matter anymore. Those digs won't matter.
I hope that I can make this acceptance and.
You will, little by little. But that's part of being in this profession.
You're aware of them, right?
Right.
That's
Right
the
now, we're just
first
in
step.
awareness. You think anyone in this room fully 100%, forget this room, this building fully accepts themselves? Most people in this building aren't aware of anything.
Yep.
Much less are going to sit there and accept themselves. Today, this gentleman that works downstairs, who's just a really nice man, comes up to me. He's like, how are you doing? Good to have you back. You know, he asked about the surgery. And he's like, you have such beautiful eyes. That said to me so much. Look, I know that I'm a pretty woman. When I'm thin, when I'm dressed up, when I have hair, not like this. I look like a 300-pound gorilla. I've got tubes with blood coming out of my freaking chest wall. I'm bald. I'm sick. I'm depressed. Really, this isn't my best life. Let's just admit it, people. So why would he have to say to me, "Estás tan linda"? But what he did was he found something true. My eyes are pretty. That showed me a lot about that person. That showed me that that person, that his palabra, that his word carries weight. Because seriously, who the hell's going to tell me, ay, que linda? Come on now. That's like a mockery. That's the person's own insecurity. I'm not taking it personally. That didn't happen. What happened was that this gentleman complimented my eyes. He wanted to say something nice, but he knew to true to himself, that's a person who accepts themselves. And I thought, I already liked and admired this man, now even more. Because it showed me the integrity and the character of who that person was. He wants his word to mean something. And that to me is extremely important, because I make a living by my word. So I resonated there. And you don't know because you're pretty new, but my major issue with my mother, my major bad bucket problem is body image. So this is like a laugh.
No, dame culo.
I am like being ridiculed. I am like, are you fucking serious? How much more? I mean, seriously, I look like a fucking monster. Yesterday when the guy took off my tapes, I mean, I can't date, I can't. There is like so much healing that has to be done at the physical level.
I can date you.
Because that is my issue. Because my mother told me that my worth lied in my physical body. Of course it has to affect me physically. There will come a time that I will be pretty once again. Now it is not the time. That's just the way it is. So that's why something like that doesn't affect me, because I have awareness around it, simply because there's awareness and acceptance of that bad bucket item. I can't change it. And my daughter says to me yesterday, what's so wrong about caring what you look like? I said, nothing. Now, but before, and how many years did I put on unnecessary weight? I wouldn't get dressed up. I looked hideous. For whatever reason, to say, fuck you, Mom. Body image is not going to be the way that I get value and self-worth. She was right. She taught me that. That ain't changing. Your mom said you need a connection with a woman, but you don't deserve it because you don't have a connection with your own mother, with the most important female figure, supposedly. Why? Where is that written? And this, it's not about you, it's about your child. Parents will come and they will complain about their kids. Or we as adults will come to counseling. Think of your clients as children that did not have their needs met. That's all anybody is. If you can learn that and you can hear and focus on that, what need is speaking, you're going to know what's going on with the client. You're going to know. So, who wants to be volunteers? I need a therapist and a client.
Don't be the client.
Okay, so come here. So therapist, Nellie, and who's going to be the client?
Come on, girl. You were fine judging me the other day.
We were
your
not
chips.
We were not judging you. I was not judging
This
you.
girl was
That
eating
shit was
chips
too good.
to my telenovela. She was like,
It was really fun.
She's eating her chips and is like,
It was
let me get
Come,
comfortable.
Stacy, come.
Sure,
Go
grab
ahead,
a chair.
bring your
Bring
chair.
your chair.
It's real funny.
And so, yeah. Yeah, she at the beginning was the client like you are now, like one after that was her. Okay,
already.
So, we're not, and that will take time to formulate how we're gonna start the session. We're not, we wanna get into the meat.
Okay.
Of course, she can welcome you and say, hi, what is the problem, whatever. We're not gonna nitpick at that kind of stuff, unless there's something that I can help, then great. But basically, what we want to hear is what need is speaking. Okay, what need she needs to hear and probe from. Okay, so just, she's your new client, or you've known her before, I don't know, whatever.
I can't take a
hi, welcome back.
How
How are you doing today?
So far,
Tell me
okay.
about your day.
It started off pretty good. Overslept, came late, didn't have any chips today.
Oh, okay. So what did you do that you slept late?
On Netflix.
Netflix.
On Netflix.
What kind of, was it a show or a movie?
Movie. I was into the Christmas holiday.
So you're getting ready for Christmas?
Yes.
You like Christmas?
Of course.
What's so special about Christmas? I don't know because I don't know. I've never celebrated, but I would love to hear about it.
I don't know with Christmas, my family, how we do it is any particular holiday, they try to get in the spirit. As far as for Christmas, like my mother would go all out with the Christmas decorations, spends hundreds of dollars at Michael's and decorate, and then so
My kind of mom.
throw everything away and then buy new stuff again for the following year for Christmas. she likes to, before, well, back then when we were younger, she would go ahead and put up the tree and stuff. Like, she made us go ahead and believe in Santa Claus, but of course we did know she was the one that was wrapping the gifts in the back, making all the noise with the wrappers. And as far as with leaving the cookies out and all of that, of course I would eat them. Because I was like, if you were in the spirit, I would pretend to be Santa myself and I would eat his cookies and drink his milk. And that's how she kept it going, even when, the only thing that made it different was when she brought in her goddaughter, and basically, I guess her parents didn't do the whole Christmas spirit, so she was considered the Grinch. She was the Grinch in the house. She was the one that was like, why are you guys wrapping the gifts? And it's like, shut up, don't talk. Our mother's going all out for us. You just stay aside, don't talk, don't do anything. Because me and my sister didn't really have a connection with her, only because she was not our real sister. So it's like, we don't care about how you feel about Christmas. Our mom is getting you gifts anyways, so just accept it, inherit it, don't say nothing, and just enjoy the Christmas with us. So other than her, because we didn't include it for Christmas, so other than her, that's pretty good.
And when was this? How old were you?
Christmas been like that since forever.
But this first experience with,
With her,
yeah.
I would say around 7 or 8. 7 or 8. She was, around that time, she was already a teenager. We're a few years apart. I would say, me and my sister are 6 years apart, so me and her would be, I would say, 8, because she's 2 years older than my sister.
Okay, so you were 6.
Yeah, around that.
Okay.
Around that.
What about your dad?
My dad, yeah, he was a part of it. He was really, my dad is really calm. He's not the one to, I don't know any guy that would go out to go shopping for Christmas, so that was my mom. She was the whole Big Bang Theory. The only thing he just preferred was just make sure his eggnog was just there. That's it. That's all he cared about. He didn't care about gifts. Well, eggnog, and if you wanted to give him money for Christmas, that was fine.
Well, what to you means, what does it mean to have a good Christmas?
A good Christmas? Even if I don't go all out and decorate, I would say that sense of, for example, if it's watching the movies or getting into the phase of buying the onesies and stuff, or I think what makes Christmas complete is if you have it with, let's say, someone you care about, whether it's, for example, a spouse or a relative, because I know everyone has their way of Christmas, but as long as you have that happiness thing going on, even if, for example, you have to fake it for the kids, I guess you should just let it be like a for them. Because that's what my mom and dad always did. Then again, they never had an issue, but they gave us that feeling that Christmas should always be perfect. Well, not perfect, but close to being perfect.
So you think that your mom doing all this every year, making it so special?
Because she inherited it from her mom. It's the thing with Christmas with my mom. It's the thing with Christmas.
Are your parents still together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing that I always say to the students is, if you're gonna ask a question, why?
Okay.
What's the reason that you're asking the question? So you segued, which is fine, I just wanna know, why did you ask the question about the parents being together? And what does that have to do with her oversleeping, coming late? And there's a theme, because what I want you to pick out is the need. What need have you heard so far?
Well, the first one that comes out is how she said that for her to make it a special Christmas is having a loved one there, you know, that happy, even if it's fake, but to make it happen for the kids. And I asked, you know, well, are their parents together? Are they still getting together for Christmas just to make it the perfect Christmas?
Okay,
And
so
then-
what need did you hear there?
Love and,
Okay, so you asked the question about the parents because you heard a need, and that's what prompted the question? Okay, continue. We have to know, excuse me, why, we have to know why we ask a question.
okay. All right, so you were saying you were watching a movie, was that The Grinch?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, do you feel some kind of connection towards that movie or with your personal life?
With the movie How to Grinch Stole Christmas, more or less, the movie itself is just entertaining, and it does relate. Then again, all Christmas movies somewhat relate to anyone who actually do Christmas, like how in the movies you can relate to it because it's always that one family who does, goes all out, decorate and stuff, and there's always that one neighbor, whether it's The Grinch or another movie. It's always that one neighbor, always that one person in the house who always makes it the complete opposite. Everyone's in the Christmas spirit and they're like the Grinch. They're all bitter. It's always like that.
I'm gonna go home today and watch
You know what I'm
that
saying?
movie.
Okay, so who's she talking about?
When she mentions the Grinch, the goddaughter of
Yeah, my
God sister.
sister's, yeah, I guess you consider her God sister, yeah.
Okay, so there's a few things. We can go back to the beginning, which was, you did great. You let the clients talk, you created a rapport, we now know something about Stacy that we didn't know before. I happen to be a Christmas crazy person too. So, great, you did wonderful. Did you pick up on another need? You nailed the connection need,
Yeah.
definitely, but there was another need. Which one?
Validation.
What'd you get? Where did you hear validation?
I don't know, because I feel like the jealousy from that her mother was given her cousin, or I don't know.
She's not a cousin, that's my mother's goddaughter. It's a
Goddaughter.
god sister for
It
me.
was like her mother was sharing her love with someone else.
Okay, I heard that too. It's almost like your god sister dethroned you,
Mhm.
and that's very Jupiter. Where's mine?
Yeah, I picked up on when you mentioned, that you told her, just be happy that she's,
Yeah,
going all out for us and
Yeah.
you're getting something, so
Mhm.
just step back, be quiet, just let us do our thing.
yeah,
So it was more like, this is our thing, just be thankful that you're even here.
Mhm.
Even though you're not involved, and I don't want you to be involved,
Mhm.
but back up, but just be
At least
thankful
Be
that.
grateful, right, that
Yeah.
you have this, even if it's not your thing. I didn't pick that up so much as validation. I picked up more protection needs. One reason why, she talked about the dad, give him money. Eggnog, when you talk about money, food, things like that, very second chakra. These are the pleasures of the flesh, very protection needs. And at the beginning, she said that her mother goes every year, spends a bunch of money, throws everything out to just do it all over again.
yeah, it's funny, certain stuff she'll keep. Other stuff, if she feel like it's like kind of raggedy or, like, after a year they come dusty in the box.
Absolutely.
So she's like, you know what?
Yeah,
We could always buy the
totally.
same thing with it. It's not like she's buying a whole different set of decorations. It's more like if certain stuff look rusty, from being in the box in the garage, it's like, okay. I can
Yeah,
always-
absolutely.
I can always
So she
bring-
buys new stuff. There's a
Yeah.
money thing there.
Yeah.
So there's a protection need. And you're basically protecting your family traditions
Mhm.
with this Grinch that has entered your house.
I feel that too. I feel how she would say, even though we knew that Santa wasn't real, we kept it as it was, and I would eat the cookies just to
Yeah.
pretend that it was Santa, just to follow my mom's lead, even though I knew the truth. So it's not protecting that idea
Right.
of,
The delusion.
what- yeah,
the
the
snow
what
globe, the
Christmas is
perfect.
all
She even
about.
used the word perfect. So a theme that shows up, and it may not be what we explore today, but
Mhm.
that's what you write on your paper, because it'll be something that comes up at a later date perhaps.
Mhm.
Some note that you make in your client file is that there's a theme there around delusion or perfection.
Mhm.
That's the archetype of Neptune. When I told you earlier, my parents have no addiction, I have no addiction, that's not something that is in our family, yet I'm married to addicts. It's the ideal, it's the snow globe, it's the perfection, and my mother is Queen of Christmas who passed it to me. So, we're seeing a theme there. There's something that we don't want to live in reality, because that planet or that archetype has to do with fantasy. Now, notice how she said, I started out the day pretty good. I overslept and was late to class. I mean, that's an incongruence. Most people would not say that that's a good day. Like James was late and he looks like he's gonna bust because he's angry that he was late, and we're okay. It's okay, but that is a more appropriate thing. Oh shit, I'm late, I have to walk in late, and whoa, is she gonna say to me? but you're just like, oh, great day, it started out great, I was late to class, I overslept.
I didn't have chips.
There, and I didn't have chips. There was an incongruence there. There's a lack of reality. What you're saying and what you're expressing don't correlate. That's where I want you to pull the thread, so go from there. The Christmas helped to give you background story about it, but the first thing she said made 0 sense. So there's a confusion about reality.